We're back. Gone.
All right, we are back here on the podcast talking Knicks basketball here. They are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year. Join me today to break it all down. Well, the co-host of the Starting Rep podcast. Our journey to the spring continues, Tom Bocchino. So hopefully we keep doing this every 2 weeks.
Listen, I have to. It's got to be good luck. Last time we came on here, I was a little bit more scared for the playoffs. Said Cat had to play like a first team All NBA for the Knicks to do anything. And shit, he's doing it, man, in different ways than we expected. But nonetheless, Point Cat is out to play. Feels weird, man. The Knicks haven't played in what feels like forever, and it's for a good reason. It's insane. Nobody's ever felt this as a Knicks fan. They dominated the playoffs straight up
Yeah,
thus far, obviously.
yeah, they have. They won seven in a row going to the Eastern Conference Final. They sweep the Sixers here. It's like one of my buddies last week in a different group chat texting me. He's like, "Hey, Mike, what are you going to do this week? Now you don't have the Knicks. You have to watch the Mets all week."
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mets, Yankees, we got that. You're gonna get some gorgeous weather, get outside, get a little sun, and you got the PGA. You can watch some easy. Well, this golf is definitely not easy, but it'll be easy watching.
Yeah, and the Mets just swept the Tigers.
That's true. They're getting a little hot. I mean, they're gonna have to make history in order to get back, but it could be done. They
Yeah,
made history on the other way around, on the bad side of it before, so maybe they could flip it.
yeah, they certainly could. So we'll talk some New York Knicks basketball here. So obviously, big sweep of the Sixers. They crushed them in game one. I talked to you, I think, during game two. I felt like that was the game they needed to get Philly because I felt like that was trending in the right way. Even without Embiid, they played great. They just ran out of gas
Yeah.
again. Same in game three, a little bit in game four was just another curb stomp for the Knicks because like that you before you blinked at 45 points up in the first half, they undo the bad karma of the Mother's Day massacre from 2 years ago where they sent it the other direction. So big takeaways in the series.
I mean, it just I combine this series with everything post game three with the Hawks. Just the complete and utter 180 that the Knicks have done. It's like they got punched in the face and it woke them up from everybody Brown all the way down the entire roster. I mean, like, can you say a bad thing about anybody on this team right now?
Oh,
How could you? I mean, the plus one, I think me and Sean talked on our podcast. Sorry to interrupt. I think it was like plus 189 point differential.
yeah, it's absurd.
And that's including two losses. I mean, obviously they were both by I think like a point, but still, like I don't. This is so weird. Like again, I have to keep reminding myself every day, Mike, that this is a good thing that the Knicks aren't playing basketball and that like it's so weird to not have anything to bitch about.
It it is, and it's ironic because OG I know he gets hurt in this series as well, and like you kind of can play slow play,
What a
like
blessing. I hate to
yeah,
say it, but
yeah, because you're like okay, like game we're up 2-0, don't have to play in game three, that's great. Okay, we're up 3-0, don't have to play in game four, we won, great. Now you can just chill and rest that hamstring, and you got full practice yesterday apparently.
yeah, I mean, knock on wood, he's back to, it's almost like it happened in the regular season where you just sit him out for 3 weeks and he's back healthy, hopefully. And hopefully it doesn't return and the injury's fully healed. Truly looking back, hindsight's always 2020. It was a blessing in disguise. I mean, again, since that Atlanta game, what Brown has done with this team, the way he's been able to get a Bridges going, even in that, I think we were texting during that absolute blowout where I was saying like even these minutes are still valuable because Bridges got going and he continued that throughout the Philly series. The bench is super deep right now. Goes down to Alvarado, Jordan Clarkson. I even Shamit. I said he was going to make an impact in this series, and he did. He played big minutes. Um, Honestly, no negatives. Like even Brunson changing up his game completely after playing ISO Joe ball throughout the entire season, showing his basketball intelligence level and how he's able to adapt as if he's still on the Mavericks with Luca and play off the ball. Like I'm Mike. I feel like I'm talking myself into trying to talk myself into something negative to make for a good clip for you here. But like again, they're okay. Here it is for you. They still got to face if they make the finals. They still got to face one of San Antonio, Oklahoma City, who could easily beat them in five. But again, let's get there first and enjoy this.
Yeah, we can definitely enjoy this year. And it's crazy too, like how like Mike Brown's bench management like over the course of the playoffs has been so strong.
It's
Whether
very vindicating too for us Knicks fans that have been that we said this is why Tibbs had to go. because there was another faction that was screaming, "Why would you get rid of him?" Whatever. And the proof is in the pudding. The regular season proved out that you got to play these guys because then they're ready come playoff time.
Yep, that's true. I mean, we saw Ariel Hukporti got big minutes in this series, especially game two, and Mitchell Robinson sits out. You bring Landry Shamet into big minutes in the series once OG goes out. Alvarado wasn't even in the rotation at the end of the season, gets back in there for the playoffs. Like they are running like 9.5 deep in the playoffs, which is very impressive.
For sure. I think that's going to tighten up in this series because I think that this series is not going to be as easy as, again, looking back at a 189 point differential thus far. So I think that bench is going to tighten up a little bit. You might see a little bit less Shamit and Clarkson, and more Deuce playing and the starters and whatnot. But I still think that impact was huge because if this team struggles with one thing, it's foul trouble.
Yes, it does. And we also mentioned before the big like emergence of Point Cat, which is something that like Cat has said in the playoffs here. Like this is in my skill set. We just haven't used it much here. Like Cat the distributor seems to unlock the whole new element of the Nick offense.
No doubt about it. And listen, if the Knicks were somehow able to plan this to where they ended up being the seed that they were, playing possum all year and just pulling this out of the garage somehow after they go down, 2-1 against Atlanta. I don't want to believe that they are that much of geniuses, but like the fact it just feels like so natural. Like this has been going on forever, and this is a very new development.
It is a very new development. I mean,
This never like this isn't one of those things you even saw coming. I'm sorry to cut you off there.
no, for sure. I mean, like with Cat, especially, like he's a guy who, like he's still committing the stupid reaching fouls at like most of the games.
He's
Like,
cut down on him though. He's cut down on him a little bit. Let's give him credit.
yeah, game two was bad. But other than that, he was okay.
Yeah. Am I being too positive? Feel free to knock me down a peg because I might need
No,
it.
no, I mean, look at some of these assist numbers here. I mean, he had 10 assists in the clincher against Atlanta. He had six against Philly game one, seven games two and three, and he had 10 in the clincher against Philly. So like he's been doing it all.
For sure, and I think this is just a much more sustainable offensive style against other teams where you're creating so many shots for other players just based off of the fact that you're pulling whoever's guarding Cat out of the paint and not having ISO Brunson just have guys stand stagnant. You're getting so many. How many times did you see wide open cutters to the basket, wide open threes due to an extra pass because of Cat initiating the offense? How much easier were the points for Jalen Brunson? Like Jalen Brunson's going to get you 25 to 30 points every night in the playoffs, but it's just a matter of how hard he's going to work to have to get them.
Yeah, it's true here. And right now, they're still waiting for their opponent as we are recording here. They
Yep.
are Cleveland's up 3-2 in the series. They finally figured out how to win on the road, which is a positive for Cleveland. So good for them. Now they are playing right now. They just started game six at the time of recording with the Hawks, with the Pistons. So they are trying to close this series out, not go back to Detroit for game seven, because you think if they go back there, that's not happening. So let's kind of go play both ways here. If it's Cleveland, and it looks like it would be if Cleveland happens, game one Sunday at MSG, game two on Tuesday, and then you have a couple of days off before game three. So, what do you think about what a Knicks Cleveland matchup could look like?
I think Mitchell could have two, three, maybe really good games, and I think it could be a strong uh, 6 game series at most. But I think the Knicks are going to take that. James Harden in the playoffs, I'm willing to bet against that. And our big men versus their big men are soft as hell.
Yeah, it's not been a strong playoff so far for Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
Mm, No, they kind of got exposed, and I think if the Pistons aren't able, or excuse me, if the Cleveland Cavaliers aren't able to hold on to this series and win either tonight or in a game seven on the road, which that's scary. Um, I think there might be some major shakeups in Cleveland because you just don't go out and trade a young Darius Garland, whether or not you wanted to pay him for a James Harden, unless you're expecting to make the Eastern Conference Finals at least, if not the finals.
Yeah, I would expect that series here to be like one where you figure, okay, like maybe Mitchell and Harden get hot, they win a game here. Like maybe Knicks aren't clicking for a game. I would lean Knicks in six. I'm with you on that if it comes to that matchup.
Yeah, you think Detroit? It's 4-2 game. I mean, so whatever. They literally just started. So, but do you think Detroit wins tonight and forces seven?
I feel like it's something I could see happening.
I think they're going to try and muck it up, um,
The problem with
which
the
is what they're really known to do.
yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
it really just matters. Like Duncan Robinson was such an integral part for them for the first for the first series, and then the first half of this one. But he's just gone ice cold, and they don't have outside of Cade. I mean, they really have nobody that's going to put the ball on the floor.
yeah. I feel like you watch the Pistons play and like I feel like they're like the Knicks of like 4 years ago, where like great regular season team. They have a lot of guys who were useful in regular
It's
season
very
play,
antiquated
but
style of basketball.
when you get to the playoffs, though, like they don't have a lot of guys who can go get you buckets or like flow well together offensively. I mean, like Jalen Duren being your second option, he's had a very bad postseason.
No, and that's the thing. Jalen Duren's more of like a rim running kind of cut guy. He's not going to initiate any offense. Truly, their second initiator is a Tobias Harris, and I like Tobias Harris as like a fourth option,
Yeah,
not as the second option. Just saying that alone gives me pause.
it does here. And assuming like let's play that what if game here. If the Pistons do come back win this series here, obviously you're a little worried about about the regular season where they beat them up so badly here. They did not play this version of the Knicks in the regular season where the Knicks were just like curb stopping people and like being very
I'm not
physical.
really worried. I'm more worried, honestly. I don't want to regret saying this, but I also just like I'm so tired of being tentative. Like I'm not really worried about the Pistons. I think that's at most six, probably a 5 game series.
Yeah, because the interesting question with this would be like, like do the Pistons bring enough physicality to buck the Knicks up a little bit and and their flow?
Well, I don't think they can, and that's the thing. It's like I think the Knicks are just going to be like, yeah, cool, you got another flagrant one, but like we just hit the six threes in a row.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's one option to point out here. The other thing here is like the who's covering Kate would be the key to this series, to the Knicks, because they've tried a lot of things, but actually not many of them worked.
That's true, but the thing is they don't have any other options, and the Knicks are just going to continue to throw bodies at them. And I think that's why the bench playing, but given your Clarkson, who's turned into a very solid defensive player, being a turnstile early on in his career, and he's a very good player off the bench. He can fill it up a little bit, facilitate. You have Alvarado, like they have a lot of guys and bodies to throw at him. And the thing is if they can continue to throw those bodies at him and slow him down because you're not going to stop a top 10 player in the league and an MVP candidate. But if you can weigh on him, your second best option is Tobias Harris. And he's going to be guarded by either Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, or OG Anunoby most of the time. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck indeed. And this is something another series. I feel like passing point cat helps out a lot here because then you're pulling Jaron Duran
Pulling the
away
big
from the
man out of the
basket.
middle, man.
Yeah, you're pulling Duran away from the basket. Now you're having all those backdoor cuts.
Exactly. And, that's the thing is I just think the Knicks are going to have to beat this team down and get them into foul trouble with Point Cat and just have them like cuts all day and just have like guys that are going to commit aggressive fouls and easy baskets like a Holland Jr. or Isaiah Stewart. Like those guys are going to come in and try and foul you as a power forward.
Yep. I would say I think we're a consensus here. We feel like it's like Knicks in 5 if they play the Pistons and Knicks in 6 is the Cavs.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is the way Detroit's played this postseason. I mean, remember, they almost lost to Orlando round one. They should have if Orlando makes some baskets in the second half of game 6. So, like, this is something
For
that, like,
sure.
yeah, I
I
feel like,
still think there's something to be said for a collapsed lung and he's again, this is not a team that's I feel like is built to win in the postseason. They just don't have the firepower.
they feel a lot, like I said, early Thibodeau Knicks, where, like, they're grinding you out of the regular season. They're playing more physical in the regular season than teams want to do. And then, like, in the postseason, the Knicks go, like, from, like, the meh, we're okay, we're going to coast together here. And then, like, okay, now it's business time. And the Pistons are kind of, like, starting here and they're going, a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah. It's like when listen, the Knicks played the whole season in third gear.
Yeah.
The Pistons were in fifth the whole season. When there's no more gears to go, what can you do?
Yeah, I think you can do here. So that's the East situation right now. And I think also of note here, I do think the Knicks completely clowning Philly was fantastic. It led them to fire Daryl Morey, the GM there. And like Nick Nurse is still there, but like that team has a lot of questions because like they have a lot of expensive pieces on there, and like there's not much you can really do to add to it at this point, considering what they did. And think about that trade they made where they sent Jared McCain out of town basically to get on the luxury tax.
Disgusting.
Like
I mean, they are
they,
gonna.
they could have used him in the series.
I mean, the guy's an afterthought on OKC, and he'd be a
Yeah.
starter or at least the third best guard on this team. Um, but you know that was another one of those trades, a much smaller scale than a Luka trade, but that was one of those trades where when it happened immediately, I was like, that's dumb. That was a terrible trade. But you know, it doesn't. It would be a level 10 disaster if they didn't have the combination of Edgecombe and Maxi, but it doesn't feel as terrible when you have that hope there.
Yeah, I think the problem is like a lot of it is an MB problem because like you have to play two different ways with him and without him. And like,
Yeah, and I think the vibe I get is that the Philly fans are kind of already looking ahead past the Embiid era.
yeah, they want to be Maxi's team, not Embiid's team anymore.
They've also probably accepted the fact that he's going to be one of the hardest guys. I never say you can't trade anybody in the NBA because I think that's been proven before, but he's going to be probably the hardest guy ever to trade.
Yeah, I have a landing spot, by the way. I think that would be interesting here, considering that this team has like so many assets and may not get the guys they actually want.
I feel like you're subtly taking a shot at Sean here.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like he's destined to end up in Brooklyn.
You know his contract, his extension that he signed hasn't even kicked in yet.
Yeah, because I could definitely see this being a situation where like the Nets are just like okay, like assets please, like we'll take him off.
I think there's a much better chance of the Nets. I mean, maybe they could go for both, but I just think that they could go for John Morant over him.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it's the two sides of the same coin with the Joel Embiid thing and Ja Morant's like
Absolutely. I just
do we take the injured guy more often? We take the guy who's like can't stay away from guns. Like poison
and has been injured as well.
and is injured. So like what poison do we want to pick for ourselves?
Pretty much, yeah. But when you're bargain basement shopping, that's what you got to do when you can't get a pick like that. That was a tough lottery.
It was a tough lottery year. And speaking of that lottery, I'm glad you brought it up here. I mean, like I want to give myself a little credit here. I said the Wizards win the lottery, which it did happen. The Bulls got into the top four, so they are in a good position here. So Sean's ethical tanking Nets did not get into the lottery. They fell down to six, so they're going to get
Yeah,
big.
he's a heartbroken
Yeah,
because he's dying on that ethical hill too. Let me
yeah,
tell you.
yeah. And we saw the Pacers slip out of the lottery. The pick went to the Clippers. We saw obviously, Memphis and Utah who got fined for tanking jump up into the top four. Like we have some
Crime pays, right?
yeah, crime does pay in this scenario here, and a fun lottery situation here, especially like the Wizards who have been so bad for so long now, like they have a chance here to kind of get this right quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I I still don't know if I love the trades for Trey Young and AD, but I saw what they were doing. But I mean, you win this lottery and it's like winning three number one overall picks in a row. At least that's how it feels to me
Yes,
right now.
yes,
Um,
and they
I
need
just
wings badly.
100% and they have their pick right now. I
Yes,
mean, and I feel like this is truly one of those drafts where you just can't like short of injury or anything like that, I don't think you can go wrong.
no, I mean you got to pick the right guy, but like
I
the
think for me, I don't know why. I love his game the most. It'd be really hard for me to not pick Peterson.
yeah you believe that the creatine's the reason why he was hurt.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, definitely some fun stuff going on over there with the lottery results here. Go talk about the West for a minute here. Obviously, we have another sweep out there. The Thunder take the Lakers out here. Do you think this is it for LeBron? Do you think he plays one more year? You think this was it?
I don't really feel like there's been that many rumblings that he's going to retire. I think it's a matter of if he's going to remain on the Lakers.
Yeah, and it's more been like a volatile situation where I felt like early in the year, when he's hurt and he's not doing much, he's a third option. You're like, okay, we're fine without him. It sounds like Luca wants to prioritize Austin Reeves. James gonna have to take a haircut, obviously, because remarkably, his salary has risen every year he's been in the league since 2003, and that's going to end this year.
Deservedly so, can I say
Yeah,
that, by the way?
sure, for sure. But now it's not going to anymore. So he basically have his choice here. Like, do I take a little less to go to like stay in LA? My biggest interest in playing with Bronny worth it? Do I go back to Cleveland? Do I go team
Can
up
I
with Network
propose
here?
something?
Yeah, sure.
If the Cavs lose, I think we do. I think we do a sign and trade on both sides. James Harden, if you can convince him to come off the bench on the Lakers for LeBron James, I think that benefits both teams.
Yeah, I think LeBron would want to go back to Cleveland. That was if like if it the Laker thing is not going to work out. I think he would prefer. My take is to stay in LA, stay with his son, like keep the bit off court stuff going. I just don't know if the
Depends
Lakers
on
want to.
For me, it depends on if he wants to win. Just because I think the Cleveland, just the team that they have is he'd be able to exploit the most out of his current talents on Cleveland more so than the Lakers.
Yeah, and also like this is not LeBron carrying a team. This would be a lot more of like LeBron. I've been through the wars. I know how to win. You guys need like a leader to help guide you the rest of the way. I can see that being a appeal to him.
Well, that and also it's like, hey, I've been in again, like you said, more than anything in these big. There's going to be, maybe four or five situations in the regular season where you're going to need me, and there's going to be a million in the playoffs.
Yes. I could see that
So
see that for sure. The other series in the West is right now still going on. Game 6 tonight. We feel like we're in agreement here. The Spurs are kind of going to wipe the Thunder out, whether it's tonight or in Game 7. Like the Wolves not winning 2 in a row.
no, and they struggled to even hold on to a lead when Wemby got ejected very early on in the game. And this Spurs team is just scary, man. And it's tough to see because Ant is so good, and he's clearly hurt, but you can just see how much better and deeper this Spurs team is. Like Dylan Harper is a bad motherfucker. Let me tell you, man. He's
100%.
18, dude, or 18 or 19, whatever he is. I mean, you're not supposed to be playing like this till you're like 24.
Yeah, for sure. And like there's one of those things you watch at Minnesota too, where like obviously like you can only get so much out of Nas Reed and Jaden McDaniels and
I love
Gobert.
Nas Reed, but
Yeah,
for what you're paying him, like unfortunately, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Spurs have better players for cheaper. Like that's
yeah.
just the way it is.
It's one of those things where like if you're looking for a player, I feel like in this league who like you're looking for one of the superstars who's gonna say in like 2 years, okay, I'm stuck. We're not going anywhere. We can't do anything. I want out. I think we're gonna get there with Ant.
That's a bold take. I think Minnesota needs to do just like Cleveland did with LeBron and other places needs to do everything they can. I think that they need a true point guard in there that's not Mike Conley. I love Mike Conley's career, but again, he was in like what the '08 draft or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a
it's
minute.
time. Like he's like one of the only point guards on the team. So I don't know. I think maybe there is like a Nas Reed type trade in there. I think if the Clippers think about trying to save money in the long run, and maybe it could be a Darius Garland for Nas Reed and a pick or something. Because maybe they'll go out and get a point guard in the draft. There's a few others out there, but I don't know. And then also, like again, you want to give the Timberwolves a lot of credit for getting themselves to the conference finals 2 years in a row and beating Denver the way they did in that first round, but also like you mortgaged your whole future for Rudy Gobert pretty badly a couple years back. So that was pretty tough.
Yeah, it's why I just see the scenario just playing out for me. It's sort of like the okay, like we can only do so much here.
They've
Where
hit
like
their ceiling as a team, I think.
yeah, I think their ceiling is like they need somebody to take out one of the big dogs. They might be able to get one, they're not going to get both of them.
Hmm. And Ant needs help, I think, is what we've learned in this league.
Yeah, and losing DiVincenzo is a huge blow for them because he stresses because without him, they're really compressed on the floor.
100%. I just think that love Dante DiVincenzo, great player, had a fun run with him as a Nick, but like I just don't think they're a Dante DiVincenzo away from beating either the Spurs or the Thunder.
Yeah, it's like what you were hoping for if you're Minnesota. I feel like is you're kind of hoping that like you got
McDaniels takes a step, yeah.
McDaniels won, and like you mentioned the need for a point guard. Like this needs to be a situation where like you're kind of limited on what you can do, like cap wise with the aprons. Like you need to find that guy who's gonna like undervalue coming off his previous team, who takes that leap forward. Sort of like not to the extent like Brunson did with the Knicks, but sort of like okay, like this guy is not playing enough his current situation. We get him here, work a little magic, and now all of a sudden he's like a good point guard next to Ant.
Yeah, I mean, they have a solid team around them. Like, I love a Terrence Shannon. I like Randall, and he's a dog in the playoffs, but they're really missing like Bones Highland and Conley as your 2 point guards. It's just it's not it.
Yeah, no love
And
for no love for
look at how
Io.
much, no, I mean, I like Io, but he's not a point guard. And here's the thing: watch Timberwolves game and see how much energy Ant has to expend just solely bringing the ball up
Yeah,
and getting hounded by either Harper or Castle.
yes.
And that's exhibit like that alone takes a lot of energy out of Ant for him to get up court instead of just jogging up court and then getting the ball and then setting something up for him.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look right now, like at free agent point guards.
Trying
Like
to find me a point guard here.
trying to
Trying to
look,
find Ant a point guard.
trying to ant a point guard because the problem is like how are you fitting this player under the apron? That's with that most. That's also the challenge.
Well, that's the problem with this team is like good luck doing that, dude. Because even when you find the point guard, then you got to find the money.
Yeah, it's like you're hoping
That's
that
why you
like
got to consider trading like a Nas Reed who's under contract. You're gonna have to give something up to get something here.
yeah, it's like do you take a flyer that like Marcus Smart can hold it for a year?
I mean Marcus Smart and Mike Conley, like what's not much. Maybe maybe you get a little more out of Smart, but again, not enough. I think that they need to get like a second tier point guard here. But again, I don't know if that's out there for them unless they're willing to put somebody good on the table.
Yeah, I think it's like they might need to go from their bigs and take one of those, turn them into a point guard.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's the only answer to the question, man. Or find a diamond in the rough in the draft, and this might be the draft to do it because a guard might slip through the cracks.
Yeah, do they have control of their pick this year? Or is
I
Utah
gotta
have?
check. That's a good question. It's probably Utah's, right?
Yeah, I would check. I'm checking here. Minnesota Timberwolves draft picks. See like who they have here. Is it 20? They took Barringer last year, which has not worked out for them as well. So
Have again, that's another thing to say about the T Wolves. They have not had like the most success in their most recent drafts. I mean, they picked what's his name a couple with a high lottery pick a couple years ago, and he's already been traded. I can't think of his name.
is it Reed Shepard or is that the Rockets?
That's the Rockets.
Yeah, because I'm trying to look up some of their recent draft picks. I know this is not fantastic podcasting, but like,
No, but you're a fantastic producer.
yeah. 'Cause I'm trying to look here at the draft history here. A couple of years ago, in terms of first round picks, the last couple of years, I have this up on Wikipedia here. 2020, yeah, it might have been, I think the closest guy they took was like, they took Jake LaRavia and traded his rights to Memphis. They have Jalen Clark, Terrence Shannon, Behringer. Like, not a ton going on here with the point guard situation. I think we might be conflated with Reed Shepard.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think Reed Shepard's going to be available. He's too young, but I don't know. Like, I wanted to say D'Angelo Russell, but I think they've already played that game.
Yeah, they've done that well a couple times.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think I have an affinity for D'Angelo Russell because he was like one of the last players before I feel like my brain moved from adult to or child to adult.
Yeah,
Um,
they have pick 28 because they swap picks to the Pistons.
I mean, hopefully they could find again. This is the year to find a diamond in the rough. Like I think if they don't draft a point guard, I'd be very disappointed as a Timberwolves fan.
Yeah, I think like you're kind of hoping that maybe somebody like I
I
mean
feel like
you're
a
hoping,
Schroeder would be great with them.
yeah. I'm looking at the draft options as well because I think like you're hoping that like maybe somebody like Bennett Sturs falls to you. Like that'd be a great guy to try and take for you for Minnesota to like
28 is quite a fall.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like he's also remember he's a guy who's older, who is, like not as athletic as some of these younger guys.
You think A-Rod might like call up his old Balco guys and be like, "Can I get some drugs to like plant on this kid to have him drop in the draft?"
I don't think he'd wear the kid the drugs. I think he's got to wear the fact, he's like 20 something. And like we you know how NBA guys think. They'd rather take like the 18-year-old who averaged 7 points a game at NC State
This team,
because he's
but again, this team
your
doesn't
Metros.
need that right now, dude. They already have that guy. He's 23. His name's Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. Yeah, you're asking for like a ball handler cheap. That's probably the best way you're getting it.
For sure. Yeah, I think that we just need more competence as a point guard. No disrespect to Mike Conley, but like we can't have your top point guard being, I don't know, old enough to be my dad probably.
Well,
I gotta
Tom,
look up his age now.
yeah, stop slandering Mike Conley.
No, I love him. Great career, but listen, he made an all-star team. He was for a 38. He's probably not old enough to be my dad, but
No,
close.
he's not there. He might have been like hanging out with your dad.
Yeah, maybe. But
He-
yeah, I mean Minnesota, I think they've reached their ceiling, Mike, and they're gonna have to make some moves. And it's not Finch. I would not touch the coach.
no, I would not either. And Tom, thanks for all the time. Really appreciate it. If people want to follow you on social media, keep up with your content over the Sorry Interrupt podcast. How can I do that?
Twitter at Sorry Sports, TikTok Sorry_Sports. Check us out wherever, Spotify, Apple. I don't know where else people listen. SoundCloud, any of them.
Yeah. Wherever you just search for Sorry to Interrupt on your favorite podcatcher, I'm sure you'll find them.
Exactly. You'll find my handsome face over Sean's ugly mug.
Yeah, and I meant to ask you, like, I haven't talked to Sean since the actual lottery ended here. Like, you
He's
said
bitter.
that's, yeah, I would be too. I mean, like, this is it's something we mentioned off the air. The Nets basically said, okay, like, we are trading assets to get control of our own picks back because we are actively tanking for 2 years, and then they drop a combined like 5 spots over 2 years.
Listen, I think this is really proves that nice guys finish last.
Yeah. Yeah, you also wonder we didn't get a ton of rigging allegations with these results here. You just think about that article that came out where that apparently Sean Marks said went to Silver questioning like what was going on with the tanking situation next year, and Silver's like, "Well, Sean, I guess you're gonna have to try and win games next year." So you wondered maybe he like was the fix in against them more than like pumping up some other guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think the word tanking to Adam Silver right now, like you could probably slap his wife across the face and he would get less angry than hearing the word tanking. He's probably so tired of it that he and I have to respect again, we broke it down that I don't think this is going to work and they tried to reinvent the wheel to the millionth degree, but I appreciate the fact that he's taking a hard stance on it at least. It's about fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, reinventing the wheel, not using the wheel idea that's out there for the draft. We haven't done that yet.
That's a very good point. I don't love it, but I don't also don't like it. I don't think what they've done is any better.
Yeah, it's also bad too because the next two classes are not as nearly as good as this one. So teams are less inclined to tank. People look like, oh look, it's working. People are trying. Like no, like nobody just cares like about this class as much.
I know. I don't know what to believe is true anymore. If they knew this was coming, who knows?